Hello and welcome to Ninqueso Live, episode 21. This is the last Ninqueso Live of the year. I am El Gran Queso, and I am joined by the goddess of donut giving, Miss Bree.
Good evening, bestie. How are you?
I am good, thank you. How are you?
Yeah, I'm not too bad. I did give you a donut today, didn't I?
You
Which
did.
was very, very nice.
Very small
of
one
me.
that went in about 2 bites.
Beggars can't be choosers,
No,
love.
they
Beggars
can't. They
be
can't.
choosers.
They can't. Just a big hello to Barlet in the chat as well.
Oh, hello, Barlet. Welcome back.
Always there, nice and early.
She's quite solid, isn't she? She's dependable. I feel secure when Barlet's in the chat because I know it's not going to go wrong.
Everything goes wrong.
Be nice.
I am nice. I'm not being mean to Barlet. I'm being mean to the fact that things don't go wrong because they do.
Because you forget to press record, don't you, before we start?
And we're using a new setup now, so it's all scary. Hello, Debbie Jane as well.
She's saying hi. So for those who are more technically minded, we've changed our setup today. We've switched to using Discord, which means I can actually see the chat as it arrives. Yeah. So, hello, Barlet. I can see that.
Amazing. The world we live in, eh? The world we live in.
I know. Excitement.
So what you been up to this week? Anything?
I've been chasing down my Xbox, and I heard a bit of a rumor at lunchtime today that there were PS5s in Newbury Park Sainsbury's, but you rubbed that idea, so I thought perhaps best not drive down there and see if there was one.
You're not allowed to drive down there. We're confined to our city. We're not allowed out.
We're in the black zone.
We're in tier 4.
I swear that I do feel like I'll look out the window one morning and there'll be zombies shuffling along, and it'll be like being in a video game, you know, because I'm good with a rifle and the zombies. But apart from that, what have I been doing? Well, I have downloaded Fortnite ready for you and I to get busy on it. So it finally finished the download, which it took all afternoon.
It took a while, didn't it?
So I've not been able to set it up yet, but that's what I'm doing. So I played a bit of Skyrim as well.
That's what you always do.
I had to delete No Man's Sky to get enough space on my Xbox, and this is why I need a Generation X.
This is rubbish. You just need an external hard drive.
You know, I think you're right, actually.
That would help as well.
But, you know, it's Christmas coming up.
Yeah, I've already got your present, and it ain't that.
Is it a donut?
If it was a donut, it would have been eaten by now. Come on, let's be real. If I'd got you a donut for Christmas, it would have been eaten.
And let's be honest. Who is it that buys the donuts 9 times out of 10?
Well, who's buying the donuts tomorrow?
Okay, we'll wait and see about that then.
Get that. Oh, I forgot my wallet.
Yeah, that's what usually happens. So hello everybody out there who's also in the black zone with us. We've come to brighten your day in these trying times, and allow you to laugh at somebody else's misfortune, which is what the major part of our podcast will be doing this evening.
It's just my misfortune. That's why people watch me play Fall Guys. Just so they can laugh at my misfortune.
Rubbish. What have you been playing?
What have I been playing? Have I played anything new? That is the question. I've downloaded a couple of new games, but I haven't got around to playing them yet. So on the Switch, there's a sale at the moment, which some of the games are really cheap. And there's a game called Horace, I've downloaded, which was like £1.09. So I thought I'm going to download that because I've heard good things about it. It's like a platform.
It's a little bit strange, that, isn't it?
It's a story platformer.
A bit odd.
Well, it's normally like $10.99, but it was 95% off.
Ooh.
So I've also got a couple of things off of I got a game off Epic as well, because Epic are like giving away, this is like a news story later on, so I'll just touch on it quickly. They're giving away like a £10 voucher if you on any game over $13.99. So I was like, and do you remember the the Raji, the game that's set in like the Indian culture?
Oh yes.
Yeah, so that was on sale already, so I got that for like £4.
Whoa.
So I thought I'll get that. And yeah, actual playing. I was playing Gato Roboto today, which I have played before, but I've never completed it. So hopefully going to complete it on my next stream. And
so Debbie Jane, have you actually played Hue, or you just thought it was a 99p? I'll see what it's got.
There's some dodgy 99p games on the Switch eShop. What I would
Actually, I
recommend...
just want to say this to Debbie Jane. She was on Fortnite with you the other day, wasn't she?
She was.
She did really, really well. I was really impressed. It can kind of freak you out a bit being on the stream or the podcast. Yeah. So I just want to say, Debbie Jane, you did really good. Well done, my lovely. Repping the girls' team.
And you can get Fortnite on your Switch.
Oh, she's playing it now.
She is. I mean, the thing is, every week you get like 99p games. And when you actually get them, they're all right. Sometimes they're not good. Sometimes they're okay. But at the end of the day, it's 99p. So you got to take that into sort of... Like, there was a motorbike game that I got for 99p. And I'm thinking to myself, if I had paid full price for this, like £8.99, I would have been well annoyed. But for 99p, it was like, you know what? That was all right. It's all right. Pick it up every now and again.
Right.
Have a quick go.
Yeah.
But yeah, apart from that, I've not really done anything. I did learn something the hard way, though, on Dragon Quest
What?
11. I lost an hour and a half's gameplay on stream because I used the wrong... Because when you die, it goes, do you want to continue from your last save, the last place you visited, or like the last campfire that you set up? So I just naturally went to last save, but I hadn't saved it for like about nearly 2 hours.
Well, we've all made this mistake. I've made it on Skyrim, not.
So yeah, that was fun.
Where was I? Where's that underground cavern?
Blackreach.
Yeah, when I was in Blackreach, I didn't, play. I didn't save often enough, and I lost about 2 hours. So, what was the game you played with the dancing girl, Farron?
Oh, Bound. Is what I played. Yes, I had played it before.
So Debbie Jane says Hugh is like that.
Yes, it's a bit more like that one. Yeah,
I'm enjoying this, being able to see the chat because I'm like, well, on top of this, you're not multitasking, are you, Bestie?
What do you mean I'm not multitasking? I'm doing good. I'm doing good. My problem is normally you're on the screen next to me when we're doing it on Skype, but now you're only over there. So I've got this natural urge to look at you over here, where I've got to look at the camera.
Yeah,
because everyone wants to see my beautiful face.
Right here. Look in my eyes. Look in my eyes.
But yeah, so that's kind of what I've been doing. Not too much.
Cool.
Not too much. So Bound was odd.
Was an odd one.
I will give you that. The thing with Bound is it came out 4 years ago. Sort of 2017, I think. But you can play it. It's like a 3D platformer that's kind of set around the a really ugly divorce kind of thing. So it's from the children's point of view, and she's kind of built up this world in her head kind of thing. So it's all really surreal, like Mirror Masks. Have you seen Mirror Mask?
No.
And it's kind of like that kind of like really odd, surreal world.
Okay.
But the reason being I got it originally is because you can play it totally in VR as well.
Oh,
So
wow.
I'd played it in VR and it's really weird in VR. It's really good. And I thought I'd play it in 2 dimensions. So yeah.
Oh,
right.
yes, it is. Yes, thanks, Debbie. Thanks, Debbie. Yeah, I can see the chat now. I'm enjoying it. And I'm also far more attentive than Bestie, aren't I? Yeah, right? Anywho, shall we do some quick news?
No, I want to address that point you just brought up. I'm attentive when I stream. When it's the podcast, I'm less attentive because we've got to think of our listeners. The ones that listen to it on Spotify and iTunes and all where you can get all your favourite podcasts like later on.
Some quick news.
Quick news. What, you mean the kind of news that we don't really want to talk about but we feel we should mention?
That's the kind.
Quick news. Among Us is going to come to the Xbox consoles in 2021. That went really badly. Yeah, Among Us is coming to Xbox. Probably PlayStation as well, let's be real. Are we doing it in turns or we just want me to do it?
Okay. Minato's kids played a lot of Sega games, but that just inspired him to try harder. Explain who he is.
What, Shigeru Miyamoto? He's the guy that created Mario.
He is. We're going to talk about him later, aren't we?
We are. Fortnite now has a Black Panther skin and a Wakanda Forever emote.
Pokemon Go's first 2021 Community Day will feature Machop.
Machop, yep. Super Smash Bros. Ultimate version 10.1 update arrives possibly today or tomorrow, depending on your time zone. So for all you Smash Brother players, It's a good game. I just haven't got around to playing it. I need more people to have it so I can play them on stream. Right, the main news, the big news, the kind of news that we really do want to talk about because it's that kind of news. A lot's gone on this week with a certain game and a certain company.
Yeah, Keanu's not feeling very happy this week,
No,
is he?
he's regretting his career path at the moment.
Career choices, probably about
probably
zero.
should have taken that one. Yes,
So
Cyberpunk 2077.
All about Cyberpunk 2077, and it's really seriously gone, skyward.
It's gone a bit
Let's just say it's floating face down.
Yes. So we did mention some of this stuff last week, didn't we? The whole how it came out with lots of glitches and things, didn't we?
Yeah, so the saga continues,
yes,
basically.
The saga does continue.
There's quite a few things to mention about this, but the first of this is basically Sony has pulled the game from, say, PlayStation, while Xbox is offering total refunds.
Yeah, so Sony's basically gone, you can't even buy the game on the PlayStation Store anymore, but you can still get a refund through there. Xbox has just totally changed their refund policies for digital games so that you can get a refund for Cyberpunk, but they're not going to take it down, but they have put warnings up saying that it might contain bugs and glitches and, be careful.
We did
before
say
you
that
buy.
last week, didn't we? That certain retailers were saying, putting warnings out for it, and now it's just gone bigger.
This is true. I've just seen some of the other notes in this story, like Cyberpunk adds epilepsy warning amid seizure fears. But I thought all games did that.
I've seen that.
I thought all games did that at the start. So essentially, so Sony's just like, we're not even selling your game while it's in this state. I think that's
massive. Let's be fair.
Yeah,
that is massive.
It's more because they didn't want to change their refund policy. Because it is pretty much like if you buy a digital game and download it, as soon as you've downloaded it, that is yours. You can't give it back, which has always been a bit harsh on consoles. Apparently, Xbox is a little bit better, but it's like nothing like Steam. When you download a digital thing, it gives you 2 hours grace. So as long as you haven't played the game for more than 2 hours, you can return it. If you don't like the game, which, the consoles should really have something like that anyway. I know other people have kind of sort of said, because when all the refunds first started coming out, CG Projekt Red sort of kind of went, well, you need to go to where you got the game to get your refund. And some people are sort of saying, because they didn't sort of talk to anyone else about this place, Sony was just like, we're just going to take it down then.
Little bit of a strop there.
Yeah.
Sony pulled it completely. Xbox offering refunds, and then just when you think it couldn't get any worse,
guess what happens? It gets
really
worse. It does get worse.
So the investors are suing over what they are saying is materially misleading information. So
I don't think they're actually suing.
There's a lot of money in this.
I don't think they're actually suing
there are
yet,
shareholders.
I don't think they're actually suing yet. They're building up the case, aren't they?
Yeah, they are building for something that's known as a class action.
Yes.
So this is basically a sweep up. So it's basically not just one against one. This is a special legal thing where you can get a load of people all together and share costs and do a class action. And once it gets to class action stage, it's overwhelmingly likely to succeed. So there's a lot of money in games. And CD Projekt Red obviously have got shareholders and investors who are looking, particularly after Keanu came on board, to make a huge killing out of this. And especially when they'd said, we've covered our costs from just pre-orders alone. Yeah. This looked like a sure thing. It looks like a good bet to invest in. So obviously now we're into the point where they're offering refunds. That's pretty serious. So that's why they're saying, okay, it was materially misleading information. Because obviously we know, as we touched on last week, that they didn't release, let's call it proper footage, did they?
Yes, they hid the base PS4 and base Xbox versions from the public eye. Totally, there was no footage anywhere of those versions running before the game released. And obviously they,
And I personally would think once this gets in front of a judge, it's a no-brainer, to be
yeah,
honest.
I mean, they are told,
If you, that's mis-selling, basically. It's mis-selling.
and they told investors, "Oh no, they're all running well. It's all doing good." I mean, if you remember way back in when the game was first, like, 'cause it was meant to come out in April, this game, wasn't it? And then it was
Yeah.
delayed. And the statement they gave was saying, "No, the game is finished. We just like need a bit more time to put a little bit of polish on there." Which at that point, they were like, "This game is not going to work. We need to delay it until the next generation consoles are out because." These ones can't run it very well. In
No.
in Cyberpunk's defense, today they did release a new patch, which apparently, from what I've heard, obviously I've never played the game, so I can't give you any personal views on how
We're
it
not
runs.
giving them any money from us to add to their...
But they did release a patch today, which apparently does make it run a bit better on the PlayStation 4 and the Xbox One. That was on a news program that I watched today. But that's all they kind of said. It's meant to make it a bit more playable on those versions. But
Okay.
I'm not speaking from personal use because I've never played the game. But apparently,
Well-
like The Witcher 3 was very buggy and stuff when that came out as well. But they managed to turn that around. So there's no doubt that...
Bestie.
Yeah, but there's bugs and there's bugs. Obviously, some of these are quite bad. But I'm sure given another 12 to 18 months, then the game probably will be in a good state. But that's when they should have released it.
Yeah, should. Anyway,
companies are getting
the
so...
saga
Yep.
continues into our next story, which is also cyberpunk. Just when you think it couldn't get any worse, it does.
It does get worse.
So, yeah. Players have been advised to keep a lower amount of items, crafting items, and yeah, that's terrible, to avoid corrupting save files. So save files cannot be over 8 meg. Otherwise, it will literally just crash the game. It's not even just freezing. It's just completely
corrupts the save file and you lose everything.
Yeah. So this is where, obviously things are really taking a turn for the worse. This is about as bad as it gets.
I think Debbie's asked a good question. What's the game about? Well, it's about big corporations like exploiting the little people.
Yeah.
And that's exactly what CG
irony.
Projekt Red has
Irony's
done.
dead at this point.
It's just you couldn't make this up, could you? Really?
No, I mean it's disaster,
But-
and particularly all these programmers were on overtime. They were forced to work 6 days a week to try and get
Yeah.
this finished, and it still wasn't ready.
And the thing is, though, now even though the game's released, they're still going to be crunching the workers to try and get this patch out for February. So they're not going to have any downtime yet.
Honestly, it's shameful. The whole episode, shameful.
It's not gone well, and hopefully people remember this when Witcher 4 is about to come out. That they just sit back and go, "We'll just wait and have a look at this before it comes out."
Yeah, I mean, honestly, I don't think you could get possibly any worse.
No,
And I get that it's been a difficult year, but somebody needed to show some leadership. Are you listening, Boris Johnson? And dig them out of this hole. Because. Yeah, it's an awkward situation, but key decisions were made at the wrong time in the wrong direction. I mean, surely you had to know somewhere or later once the real situation came out that this would happen.
It was 100% cash grab. The companies are getting too much into this state of we'll release it as is and then fix it later, and that's happening more and more with games. And there has to come a point where people are just like...
It's not fit for market, is it? Let's think about a couple of other things that have happened, basically where the reviews have gone out and then they've inserted full page adverts after the fact. So this sort of like hiding the actual game experience and what's contained in the game, until after it's gone out, it was the thin end of the wedge, and now here we are at the fat end of the wedge.
Yeah, and it's just people just need to start remembering these and start being more skeptical of new games releasing. Don't just think, well, this company's made this game that I really like, so this one's going to be amazing as well. Actually be a bit more critical with it and think, really?
Shall we go to a good news story?
Should we go to a good news story? This is kind of a good news story, I guess.
Epic?
Yeah,
Free games.
Epic are giving away free games, and the list of games is actually leaked. The Epic Store is only on PC, so this isn't for console gamers, I'm afraid. But I'm sort of starting to walk into that world of PC gaming now. So that's why this has made it on here. So yes, so a part of the Epic Holiday giveaway deals, they're giving away like free games, and the list has actually leaked online, and so far it's exactly what it's saying. So the game list is as follows: Alien Isolation, which is as close to the first movie as you could possibly get with its own unique storyline. So it's just like one alien on this space station that you find yourself in. And obviously the alien is so OP you can't kill it kind of thing. So it's like a creepy around scary game. Metro 2033, which came out today. Tropica 5, Inside, Darkest Dungeon, My Time at Portia, Night in the Woods, Stranded Deep, Solicitressa, can't pronounce that, Torchlight 2, and Jurassic World Evolution. So I'm going to get a few games this Christmas.
That's some good stuff.
It is. And now, what they're also doing, on top of giving these free games away, they're also giving everyone a £10 voucher that you can use on any purchase over $13.99, which so that's pretty good. And the better thing is when you use that voucher, as soon as you make that purchase, they give you another one.
Yeah.
So it's just, you're getting £10 between now and the end of the year. You can get £10 off any game over $13.99.
Can't complain at that.
So there's my Christmas present. You can get me like some Epic Store vouchers, but they don't sell them. They don't exist. I looked.
Well,
so I was going to add it to my wish list.
What is your pick for? What do you want to get?
I'll get them all, because obviously why wouldn't you? I mean, I probably wouldn't download them. I think I've heard good things about My Time at Portia. It's kind of a bit like an Animal Crossing type thing. I've downloaded Alien Isolation because, you know me, I don't do scary games, do I? At all.
No.
Now, this channel is really close to 50 people following it, which is the first stepping stone of a Twitch channel. So if we can get up to 50 people before the end of the year, I will stream on January 1st, or maybe January 2nd, Alien Isolation, and basically cry and
You're
and
too
weep.
jumpy to. Oh my goodness!
I'll just be like, I can't take this. Why am I
in the dark?
But that's only if we get to 50 followers before the end of the year.
Oh my god! You will absolutely be peeing your pants.
Part of being on the scary game. I would be scared. The thing is, I have played about half hour of Alien Isolation, and even though nothing had happened, I was just like, I can't cope with this. So I'm just going to put it down and walk away. So yeah, so that's the Epic news. So yeah, if you've got a PC, it's a no-brainer really getting all those free games. Unless you're one of the people that really hate Epic, because I know they're out there. Yeah. Like Apple.
Yeah, they're out there.
Apple employees are probably going to get told off if they do that. Anyway.
Been on.
Yes, another horrible trend that is now starting to plague the world of computer games. So a month after launch, Assassin's Creed Valhalla has started selling an XP boosts. Now, when Odyssey came out, they had the XP boost in straight away. But this time, they've kind of let the game come out, let all the reviews happen, and then they've added it in.
Yeah, so this boost grants a 50% increase to XP progression, and it can be used across all save files. So it's basically 1,000 Helix credits, which is equivalent to about £8.58. But, you know, I think this is quite cynical. I know it looks like it was an added extra, but it wasn't, because it was relatively difficult on this to get XP.
Yes,
so you're grinding it out.
I've heard that
and then
from
all
people.
Of a sudden they go, oh, well, we've got a solution for that.
That it's like just excessively long game because it takes so long to get the experience points.
That's right. Yeah. Anyway, so there is a pack that combines the silver and the XP boost that costs you 1,500 Helix credits, which is about £12.88. if you buy the 510.50 packs. So yeah, it's an all round. Yeah, it's an all round of that pack.
And it's the whole putting it in afterwards that is just.
It is. But this is the trend that we just commented
That's the
on,
world
isn't
we
it?
live in,
Like,
isn't it?
bring it on you later down the line.
You know, get people to think that, oh, this has got, oh, it's got no microtransactions, this game. Month later, boom, there they are.
You know what is outrageous though? This is a full price game, and then there are microtransactions. You know, I'm fairly outraged about this because I was going to get this right. I was going to go, okay, in the new year when we've got a bit more Mahoney. I will get this for myself, but no, I'm just not having it. I'm not having it. That's it.
Is that it? You're just like, wash, you know, you are poop through your hands of the whole Valhalla. Wow. Crazy.
Yeah.
Crazy.
I know. Well, I just, you know, I don't like feeling taken advantage of. If I'm going to pay full price for a game, I don't expect there then to be sliding in the microtransactions at the end.
Yeah, I get you. It's like games are expensive anyway, but
Absolutely.
But then again, games are expensive to develop. Swings and roundabouts, isn't it? It's like
If it's a good enough game, it'll make the sales.
I think for me, if it was just like, oh, we've added some microtransactions in there, but it is literally just, here's a pretty cloak that your character can wear that has no bearing onto the game whatsoever, I'm 100% fine with that.
That's my thought.
You know, if it doesn't change the gameplay, but what they've done there is, it's something that, again, I've never played the game. I'm only going on what I've heard people say. I've heard a couple of people talking about it, and they were like, you know, I've hit like 40 hours, and I realised I'm only just about halfway through, and I just can't take it anymore because of that grind of trying to get my XP up and things. Yeah. Which is the time when they go, here, look at this. For another just £10, here you go. You can just half those XP points.
You just feel like they're wringing it out of you, don't you? That's the thing.
Yeah. And speaking of that, Doug Bowser has tried to explain why all the Mario games are disappearing at the end of March. And it's a great explanation, isn't it? It's a really good explanation.
I've got the statement here in front of me.
Celebration!
Yeah, I think I use a simple word, celebration. This is a celebration of Mario's 35th anniversary, and we wanted to celebrate it in a unique and different ways by taking share away from you.
Then why is Fire Emblem coming off on the 31st as well?
Games like Super Mario 3D All-Stars, or we'll be doing that through future releases such as Super Mario 3D World plus Bowser's Fury. There are several ways we're celebrating Mario's 35th, right? Okay.
Yeah.
With some of these titles, we felt it was an opportunity to release them for a limited period of time. They've done very, very well. Super Mario 3D All-Stars has sold over 2.6 million units in the US alone. And so clearly consumers have been able to jump in and enjoy that. And it's not a strategy we're going to be using very widely, but it's one we thought was very unique for the actual anniversary. And I'm just like, what?
I mean,
that doesn't make any sense.
Bless him. He's like the head of like Nintendo of America. Now, Nintendo of America don't have any say in what's happens really with Nintendo. They're just like the Nintendo of Japan says this is what's happening, and Nintendo of America just have to like sell it to people. So he's probably got no authority whatsoever to actually say why they chose to do this. Now, obviously, in my mind, I think we need to see what happens on the 31st. I do get why the 3D All-Stars is a limited time, because it is an anniversary edition, if you know what I mean. So why would that be on sale the whole time? Yeah, I also see the point of view. If someone buys a Switch in June next year, they're not going to be able to buy the game. So why take it off the digital store? But I still think at some point they will start selling it, like some of the games individually rather than selling it as a pack. Yeah,
possibly.
I know there's no like guarantee, and I know some other people have kind of said no, they can't really do that, because if they do that, that kind of just because if they immediately start selling them individually, then people will just be like, hang on, You said this was a limited time. That's why I bought it when I did. And if they do that again with a limited release, people are just going to be like, well, you're going to just start selling it again anyway. But you must remember, this is Nintendo, and they do some weird stuff.
Yes, absolutely.
So I wouldn't see. I don't think it's out of the realms that they might start selling them individually straight away. I mean, the Game & Watch.
Mr. Bowser had no idea what was going on there, though.
Well, he just had to dodge the question. He couldn't say why, and it was. This is my theory. You like my theories. I don't want to put the knife down. I don't know why I'm playing with a knife. Going to put the knife down. This is my theory. Yeah. It's 2020. A lot of their games that were going to be coming out have been pushed back to 2021. They wanted to make sure by the end of the financial year, which coincidentally is March 31st, they had hit the targets that they had set for themselves. So what better way of doing that than suddenly release a load of limited time products to get people to go, I need to buy that now, rather than, I can get that in 6 months.
Cynical.
That's kind of why I think they've done it, because obviously other things were meant to come out this year that haven't because of COVID and things. So it's not ideal, but I can see like that makes sense in my mind from a business point of view. We need to make sure our revenue is up, so we'll do this. And like you say, it's Zelda's 35th anniversary next year, so let's see if they do that again. Who knows? But we'll see. We'll see. But that's kind of what someone else said. If they do suddenly start selling these straight away and then they do a limited time Zelda, people aren't going to believe it's limited time.
Not really.
No. So who knows? Who knows? It's going to be one of those time will tell situations. But I mean, he just dodged all the questions. Apparently they obviously asked him quite a few things in this interview with, I think it was with Polygon, wasn't it? And he just kind of dodged everything. Just like, whatever. Dodge. Here comes that question.
Go over to Super Nintendo World
with Nintendo World, which looks like the best place in the planet.
Ninqueso Live Road Trip, I believe.
Ninqueso Live, yes. Once we're allowed to leave the country, next year, Eva, it'll be the 35th anniversary of the first Zelda game. It was a 35th.
I think we've got to get in a dinghy and row across the channel.
Row across the channel to Japan? Crazy. That's going to take forever. Look, there's Shigeru Miyamoto popping out of a little green pipe. It's awesome.
So the first thing I want to say about this is I was pretty shocked here that it was actually him, because you told me, Bestie, that he's 68.
He is. He's getting on a bit now.
He looks well for it. The boy's definitely doing well on whatever it is he's doing. 68.
It's all that sushi he eats.
It must be, yeah.
Yes, but Super Nintendo World opens in Japan on 4th of February, which we have mentioned before. But Nintendo actually did a whole 15-minute Nintendo Direct on the park. And it just looked absolutely crazy.
We watched it, didn't we? Yeah. And we said, you cannot tell the difference between whether this is real life and CGI.
Exactly.
It is amazing.
You go through the pipe and there's like you in the Peach's castle, but there's blocks that you can like punch and it gets coins from the wristbands that you get.
There's a wristband and oh man, they've got a cafe.
They do have a cafe. They got an app as well.
So everything is just as fabulous as you would imagine. They've got the wristband, it links up with an app, and there's experiences, and they're all different areas. I mean, I have actually been to Disney in the States, and this looks way better, frankly.
It does.
Way better.
There doesn't look like there's many rides, but it does look way better. There's like got bobbies blowing up.
Yeah.
It's just...
I mean, honestly, as I was watching it, I was just like, oh my actual... I need to have a go at this.
I think the best.
Sure.
Oh, there's a picture of this. Oh, there's merch. Look, there's a new toy.
Amazing.
Bartlett watched it. I think the best bit about it was the cafe, where you go in and like they've got like made it look like it looks into the kitchen. Like it's a video screen, and they got a toad chef who like starts talking to you, and it's just like, oh, that's so cool. I'm just trying to look for the picture. There he is, the toad chef. You walk in, he's like, hello, but obviously he's in Japanese, so it's hard to understand what he was saying. I think that's the only problem. Everything would be in Japanese.
This has got to go on our list, though. Surely, bestie.
This is something that I would love to be able to do. I mean, look at that restaurant. That's just awesome.
It looks incredible.
It really does. But yeah,
So
there's just
exciting.
pictures. There's a burger. Look,
Oh, that looks pretty good, actually.
it's like a little Mario hat on the burger. It's just everything. It's just awesome.
I
Look
think
at that though.
everything
Look at that.
Amazing,
Look at the
amazing.
mushroom.
Everything is done with such an attention to detail, and it's
Yes.
so great. I mean, look at that. That's amazing, isn't it? That's incredible.
I mean, it wouldn't fill you up at all. It's probably really expensive, but just look at it. You just wouldn't want to
Right.
eat it. It's like, can I just take this home, please?
Yeah.
And you freeze dry it.
My
I mean,
goodness.
look at that cake.
I need that. I need cake. Generally speaking, I need
You
cake.
do. And there's Bowser's Castle as well, with a big
Yeah.
Bowser statue
Incredible.
in. And like the Mario Kart ride, which is just insane. So basically, from what they were saying, is like there's 4 people in a cart, then 2 carts kind of go off at the same time, and you can use augmented reality to fire shells and things at the other roller coaster that's going round.
Amazing.
So it's like an interactive roller coaster where you got the augmented reality goggles on.
Yeah.
That is the bit that looks weird. It's like the whole when you first come out and you just see the whole landscape. You see this and all the pieces are moving, and it's just
Doesn't look real, does it?
no. It just almost looks like a computer game kind of thing, even though it's there and it's just it's so beautiful, so beautiful.
So yeah, that's where we're going, peeps. That's where we're going.
That is. They probably will serve morbid mockers. Who knows? Oh dear. But that's kind of all the news for 2020.
It is.
Because-
So we're actually going to take a break next week, aren't we?
Well-
We're going to have a week off.
She is. I'm not. I'm going to stream something. Stream.
To give you all a rest from us and our shenanigans.
They don't want to rest from you. They don't want to rest from me.
We're going for extra donuts, bestie.
Well, I'll eat donuts and then I'll stream.
Fair enough.
I'm getting sniffed.
So
by a
where can
cat.
they find you?
They can find me on Facebook as El Gran Queso 74, where I do stream Sunday through to Friday. You can also find me on Twitter, Kato_cheeselets. And you can find me obviously here on the Ninqueso channel, where I do stream now Monday through to Saturday. Obviously not Tuesday, because that's the podcast day. How about you?
Except for next week. For me, I am on Twitter as Gamer Girl Miss Brie, GMRGRL_Miss Brie, MISSBRIE. You can do that
Awesome.
thing.
The Batman thing. Okay. The last one of the year. Deep breath.
Deep breath.
And relax. Will 2021 bring all the stuff we've ever dreamed of, or will it just be a continuation like a Ubisoft game? That was rubbish. I'm sorry. Can I retract that and go away? Or will it just be a continuation of 2020 and we'll all cry still? I'm hanging my head. I'm hanging my head. I'm sorry. I messed it up totally. I was rubbish.
Say goodnight, bestie.
Good night, bestie. I'm not even on the end thing.